Welcome to MPU 2333, Development of Science and Human Civilizations. It's a recap of today's lecture. We have discussed the introduction, what is science, civilization, and a bit of the rise of Islam with Arabic science. Here are my contact details if you need to contact me or email me. A few of the online etiquettes which you could read by yourself. And we have discussed what global village is. So, in the world of the 21st century, we're all interconnected and use the term global village, where there's a link between civilization and national economies. It was a, a term that was coined in the 1960s, where it has a look at the interaction between science, technology, civilization, and society. So we are a very small world, and civilization depends on its scientists. And of course, when we study our subjects, we learn that globalization, or even the global village, um, is a science. Many would argue that science is to be blamed. But then again, if we look at it at a bigger scale, we can see that global village is a term that has been used even for globalization. We went through the definition in terms of science, where it's a systematic knowledge of nature through repeatable observation and experimentation. Science very much is like religion, where it attempts to establish a system of knowledge about nature. And all religions also are belief systems that God acts in a particular way. And Einstein, he believed that God does not play dice. He expressed the belief that God, who who loves order, and a belief that influences his approach to many of his scientific discoveries today. And you can see here that science develops over time, and it has evolved over different civilizations. We looked at the term technology, where it has changed its meaning several times since the European civilization during the 17th century, where we came from Stone Age humans to cutting edge tools, technology, and sandstone. We have even used animals for transportation, different types of mastering technologies that we have. Thomas Alva Edison as well is very well known for his inventions before the 20th century. And so we are currently, sometimes even asking the question whether artificial intelligence can take over our world and even our humanistic experiences one day. This is a concept for you to reflect on. What's the difference between art and science? And society, very much so, a bit like civilization, are individuals of species that live together, for example, the animal world, and we are in charge of looking for daily food take requirements and environment where food is supplied. So we have actually evolved from small hunting parties into bigger civilizations. For example, bears who can survive in groups, and then lions, and how we interact with nature around us. We also looked into civilization. Okay, so civilization has close ties with culture, and culture is behavior. It actually includes language, rituals, social customs, and elements in a nation state. And if culture is behavior, a civilization is culture. And there are a few characteristics that define a civilization. Firstly, is the existence of different cities. So we have here a depiction of African, Greek, and Mayan civilizations. We have advanced division of labor, different social classes and different ruling classes in a society, and administration that can collect social surpluses, public buildings, and a record for keeping. So these are the progressions of different civilizations that they evolve from one to another. A bit on the rise of Islam, we know here that there's a lot of activity of merchants and businesses from the Indian and Mediterranean Sea, different marketplaces with family wealth. We have the zakat, the 5 pillars of Islam. We discussed a little bit on the exposure and the spread of Islam through many regions like Iraq, Syria, Palestine, Egypt, and Northern Africa, which adopted the Arabic languages, where Arabic languages would then um, maintain its religious autonomy. So we've discussed that in a bit on science and medicine in the Arabian Empire. If you look at different political, religious, social architecture that we have over here. And last but not least, we have discussed the role of Islam in the history of science. For example, Galileo and Al-Biruni over here. All right, so this is a recap for today. Most importantly, we also have the recording. We're going to go maybe a bit more into, yes, this is tutorial 1 for tomorrow. Watch the documentary and also read the article here. The article is entitled Civilization, History, Description, Common Characteristics and Importance, and the documentary on the birth of civilization.